You could feel it from the first snap. This was going to be a game about force, tempo, and ugly, necessary work up front. Chicago didn't try to outflash Philadelphia. They outworked them. The offensive line opened lanes, the backs punished the seams, the defense hunted the ball, and special teams cleaned up the rest. By the time the clock hit zeros, the Bears had a signature win in Philly that will hum in this locker room for weeks. The headline is simple: the trenches won the game. Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright, Drew Dahlman, and the rest of that line put on a clinic. They didn't always look pretty, but they were relentless, climbing to the second level, finishing blocks, and giving those two backs the kinds of lanes that turn short drives into long marches. Ozzy Trapilo, in just his second start at left tackle, didn't have a perfect day, but the unit as a whole, dominant. When your line can bully a defending champion front and consistently create movement, you're not playing a game of X's and O's anymore. You're imposing will. Which brings us to the running game. D'Andre Swift and Kyle Monangai combined for a day that would have made Walter Payton nod in approval. Violence, suddenness, vision. Swift's quickness and ability to hit creases got the defense on its heels. Monangai's downhill power answered when you needed someone to finish off a set of downs. Two backs over 100 yards each is rare in modern football. Rarer still when you've been struggling to run early in the season. And it mattered not just for yards, but for everything it unlocked. Time of possession skewed in Chicago's favor. Third and longs became third and manageable. Play action started to look dangerous because the run was believable. Now, Caleb Williams. He didn't have to be a saint to win this game. He needed to be efficient, manage the game, and make the one big throw when it mattered. He did exactly that. There were a handful of misses, a would-be touchdown to Rome that didn't connect, a back center look to Olamide Zaccheaus that drifted away, but context is everything. This is a rookie in a brand new system. The plays where he did connect mattered more. The play action dime to Cole Kmet in the end zone was surgical. Perfect timing, perfect placement, and a throw that showed poise under pressure. That sequence felt like Ben Johnson's best calling day of the season. The run-heavy posture, the delayed look, and the precision strike that closed out the game. And speaking of Cole Kmet, what a game. Route running, hands, and the willingness to block and win the physical battles after the catch. He sold the run, he executed the route, and he hauled in the dagger. Watching Loveland be the first to celebrate with him after that score told you everything about this offense. Chemistry is real, and the pieces like to play for each other. It's worth calling out the subtle stuff in the offense. The screens were timed beautifully. The tight ends and receivers did their jobs in blocking for the run. Those little things compound. They turn a good run into a stunning one. Ben Johnson didn't overcomplicate. He leaned into what worked and let the line and backs do the rest. On defense, effort and fundamentals were the theme. Dennis Allen's unit flew to the ball. Hats were around the football, and the tackling was consistently physical. When you force that kind of collective effort, you win the moments that become momentum. Austin Booker's edge work was excellent, beating double teams and making plays in the backfield. Grady Jarrett kept answering as a leader and a playmaker. His presence in the middle has been invaluable and is starting to match the leadership you see in the locker room. The secondary looked sharper too. C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kyler Gordon, deployed thoughtfully on different sides, gave the Bears versatility and bite in coverage. Jaylon Johnson's snaps, though limited, were impactful. Jaquan Brisker was a revelation in run support and beyond. His physicality at the point of attack set the tone. And veteran Devin Byard, he's playing like someone in his prime again. Timely instincts, ball skills, and a leadership presence that steadies the unit. His interception was a game-changing moment, and his overall play makes you seriously consider this pairing of safeties among the league's best. Nahshon Wright has been a thriller this year. Leading the league in takeaways isn't something you predict. It's something you earn with instincts, discipline, and a relentless nose for the ball. The strip on the tush push, heads up, gutsy, and it swung the game. That play epitomized how a game can shift on a single moment of awareness. Turnovers don't just flip the scoreboard, they flip energy and narrative, and Wright delivered that currency on a huge stage. Special teams quietly helped too. Cairo Santos was money in the wind, and the coverage units were dialed in. Punts and kickoffs didn't gift the Eagles short fields, and that kind of consistency matters late in tight games. Torrey Taylor punted well given the conditions, and the onside recovery, while it may not make every highlight reel, was a decisive, timely moment that mattered in the math of the game. This was about identity. The Bears showed they can be a physical, grinded-out team that also has the nuance to strike in the passing game when defenses overcommit. That balance is lethal in November. It forces opponents to choose their poison and then punishes whichever choice they make. Ben Johnson deserves credit for dialing the game the way he did. Schema that let the team's strengths breathe and the rookie quarterback manage without needing to be spectacular. Sustainability is the natural question. Can the Bears run like this every week? Can the offensive line hold up against elite rushes? Can both backs stay healthy with this workload? Valid points. Football is an adjustment sport. Opponents will see film and scheme counters. But here's the thing. The Bears didn't discover a fad in Philly. They revealed a capacity. When your line can assert itself and your backs can finish, you don't just win one game. You create a template that's hard to game plan around without sacrificing something else. This is a statement win in the truest sense. It tells the division and the league that Chicago isn't a team that flukes into wins. They can grind opponents into submission. It does more than move them up in the standings. It shifts how opponents prepare and how the Bears prepare themselves. If you want a lasting image from this game, picture the silence that fell over Lincoln Financial Field as the clock dwindled. Not the roar of a last-second miracle, but the quiet exhaustion of a team that just couldn't keep up with a grind that never let up. That silence is momentum. It's the sound of control. And for the Bears, it's the sound of a team that just found a way to win the ugly and the important, the kind of wins that build seasons. The Bears went into Philly and did something rare. They beat the defending champs by imposing a physical identity from snap one. The offensive line looked like an old-school bully brigade. Jonah Jackson, Darnell Wright, Drew Dahlman, and crew opened holes and climbed to the second level, and the backfield ate. D'Andre Swift and Kyle Monangai ran with violence and vision, both topped 100 yards, and the rhythm they created turned long, clock-killing drives into a straight-up headache for the Eagles. Ben Johnson's plan was simple and brutal. Make Philadelphia beat you up front. When the OL wins those battles, play action becomes a cleaner weapon, screens land at the right moment, and the offense gets the kind of third and manageable looks that keep chains moving. Caleb Williams wasn't perfect. He missed a few timing throws and had a couple of near misses, but he did the thing you want a young QB to do. Take the clear shot when the defense cheated. That dime to Cole Kmet in the fourth quarter was a clinical finish. Play action delivered at the perfect moment to puncture Philly's hope of a comeback. A few offensive details matter. The screens were beautifully timed and designed. They created angles and bought the runners' lanes. The tight ends and wideouts blocked like linemen when the play called for it, and even the rookie tackles, including Ozzie Trapilo in his second start, showed growth. Cole Kmet's route and hands on the dagger were textbook.